What's going on, friends? My name is Junje. I'm a music producer and DJ from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm currently living in my van full-time in Las Vegas, Nevada. So today, I'm here to tell you why van life sucks. Before we get started, I just want to throw out a disclaimer that I'm being a little dramatic and van life doesn't actually suck for me. But there are some elements of van life that are pretty tough, and I anticipated that. So today, I want to talk about some of the difficulties that I run into while doing van life full time. First of all, the phrase tiny home is an understatement. I have 50 square feet of space in the van, and only 12 feet of that is floor space. So I don't have a whole lot of room to walk around. And even when I am walking around, I have low ceilings, so I can't even stand up straight. Every part of my day requires me to use the space a little bit differently. If I'm cooking, I have pots and pans spread out all over the counter and the floor. During the day, my bed is full of bags and bins because I just have nowhere else to put them. After I go food shopping, it's an absolute nightmare in here. There's stuff everywhere. I'm also always moving things out of the way of other things just to get to the thing that I actually need to get to. It can get pretty frustrating, but it's the space I have and I make it work. Another thing that I pretty much gave up to do van life full time is any sense of normalcy or routine. Living in the van and traveling all the time makes it really hard to settle into something that you can do every day. When I'm staying in one part of Vegas for a week or two, I can sometimes settle into a little bit of a routine, but just as quick as I can get used to it, it changes. Last month, I took a spontaneous trip through California and Arizona, and I was never in the same spot for more than a few days. So that starts to get pretty difficult. I have to find places to park or camp where I won't get a knock on my door at 2 a.m. telling me I can't be there. I have to find a place to fill up my water tanks. I have to find a place to empty my water tanks and my toilet. Convenience is really not a thing for me anymore, and a lot of times I end up taking up like half of my day just figuring out where I'm gonna get all my stuff done. I'm also tasked with finding a place where I can use free Wi-Fi every single day. That can get tricky sometimes because I have to find a place that doesn't mind me staying there for hours at a time and not spending a single dollar on any of their product. If I was spending money every time I went to one of these places, I'd be broke. Luckily, places like Starbucks, Panera, Barnes & Noble, those places seem to be pretty okay with me just hanging out using the Wi-Fi and not buying anything. I don't bother anybody, they don't bother me, so it ends up working out. I also have a hotspot on my phone that I can use while I'm at a camping site. A lot of times I'll find a really nice campsite that's perfect and I have to end up leaving because I have to get some stuff done and I can't do it because there's no cell service. Another reason why I prefer free Wi-Fi over my hotspot is because I get to charge my devices while I'm using the free Wi-Fi, which leads me to my next struggle of full-time van life, which is not having enough power in the van to get through an entire day. My brother and I built the electrical system in the van to the specs that we thought were gonna be good enough for me to run everything for the entire day, but we were definitely mistaken. The fridge definitely uses most of my power, and I actually find myself almost every single night having to unplug it because if I let it go throughout the night while the sun's not out, the battery pretty much dies or gets very close to it. So in order to keep that from happening, I just unplug the refrigerator at night. I don't open it again until I plug it back in the morning when the sun comes up. If there's a certain day where I'm using a lot of power in the van and it's really kind of taking a toll on the battery, or if the sun's not really out and the solar panels aren't charging the battery, then I actually have to empty my fridge into a little $20 Walmart cooler that I bought and fill it with ice just to kind of give the battery a little bit of time to recharge without the refrigerator taking all that energy. And of course, the Walmart cooler isn't that great, so I get about a day out of one bag of ice. So I try to keep an eye on the fridge so I can use it as much as possible, but it's definitely a struggle making sure everything's working properly. Another van life struggle that I considered but didn't really think too much about until I started full-time van life is the temperature in the van. When it's cold, it's really cold, and when it's hot, it's really hot. As a matter of fact, it's 7:23 right now in the morning because I tried to make this video yesterday at 2 p.m. and it was 115 degrees inside the van. So I postponed the video and decided that I was gonna wake up early before the sun got too vicious and get this video done for you guys. Now, before I tell you my next van life struggle, I wanna let you know that these are not in any particular order. But I think this one is the only real reason why I actually hate my current van life situation. And that is the fact that my van is 19 years old with 160,000 miles on it. I honestly believe that if I had a brand new van, all of the other inconveniences wouldn't even matter and van life would be the most amazing thing for me. But the fact that my van can break down at any second adds a little bit of stress to my journey. I've already put a lot of money into mechanical work before and after I started full-time van life, so I really want to avoid putting anything else into it. Also, gas prices. Now, I'm not one to complain about the gas prices because everybody's dealing with it and it sucks for everybody. But it's definitely something that I have to take into consideration when I'm planning trips outside of Las Vegas or to a campsite that's 30, 40 miles away from the city. That can definitely add up. So I've been spending a lot of time in the same area as of right now, just to kind of save a little bit of money in that situation. And the final thing I want to talk about, again, in no particular order, is loneliness on the road. It's definitely a lonely lifestyle, and there's some days when I don't speak a single word to myself or anybody because I just don't come in contact with anyone. At the very least, most of the time I'll say hi to the receptionist at the gym, but that's sometimes really all the human contact I have during the day. I try to stay in civilization as much as I can just to have a little bit of human interaction and keep myself sane, but sometimes I don't always have that opportunity. I also make it a huge priority to keep in touch with family and friends on a daily or weekly basis. I'm always planning FaceTime calls with friends or shooting a family member a text just to make sure that they know that I'm okay and just to check up on them to see how everything's going back on the East Coast. That all definitely helps a lot, but at the end of the day, it's just me in the van and that can get pretty tough sometimes. But I know I have amazing family and friends in my life that I can talk to any time of the day if I want to, and that helps me manage the loneliness pretty well. Now, before I finish up this video, I want to remind you that for me, van life does not suck. I actually love van life, and it's one of the coolest experiences I've had so far, and I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to be able to do it. In fact, my next video will be explaining all the things I love about van life and why I think it was an awesome decision for me, and it might be a great decision for you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can check out that video as well as all the other videos that I post. I'm a music producer, so I'm always making original music and remixes of songs. I also make vlogs documenting my journey as a DJ and music producer living in a van full time. And every once in a while, I like to throw in a motivational video that might help you navigate through life a little bit easier. It's some things that I've learned throughout my life, and I like to share them with you guys. Hopefully you find something you can enjoy. If you do, make sure you're subscribed here. Also, head over to my Instagram to make sure you're following me there so you can keep up with me in real time. All right, y'all, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.